I'd like to bring your focus to matters that are facing the Kenyan public.
Yes.
You've already talked about the withdrawal of the rural and urban private hospitals offering SHA services. I think they mentioned that they'll only offer emergency services. Apart from that, they're withdrawing services from SHA due to that figure, the NHIF arrears that haven't been paid till date. And it's not just that. There are a couple of issues still in the education sector. And recently you mentioned that, you know, the State House at Nairobi is the epicenter of corruption. So talk to us about this in light of the challenges we're facing. What's the solution? We're not here to whine, we're here to provide solutions as well.
Rogers, President William Ruto said that he is a PhD holder. And the rest of us who don't have PhD should not tell him anything. I had some discussion with some people yesterday on Saturday night in Meru. And they were wondering if this is where PhD has reached us as a country, whether there is any need for anybody to ever aspire to have a PhD. All systems are destroyed. The health system has collapsed. Today, the private hospitals have withdrawn from SHA, and they normally take care of 47% of the country. So where do those people who go to the mission hospitals go? And this SHA thing was rushed because of corruption. The whole genesis of this program and why it was pushed down the throats of the people of Kenya without proper and adequate preparation was because of conflict of interest. There is a system, a management system for the SHIF program that is costing 104 billion Kenya shillings. That is the gist. That is money that people are taking, people in government. More than 80% of that money will go to people's pockets. The NHIF had proposed that they only needed 700 million to upgrade their system, to manage the health system. Okay? So what has happened because of this corruption? There's a nation called Jayesh. He's the one who is behind this thing. He works with Adani on behalf of people in government. Because of that, the program was rushed without being thought through. There are people who are owed money by NHIF. Nobody talked to them. We just migrated to a new program without thinking through what it is. When we were campaigning, we had promised the people of Kenya that the ordinary Kenyans who are paying 500 shillings, we will take it to 300. What has happened is that nobody can afford this system, and the system itself is not working. So, a government that cannot have a working health system, I'm actually happy to be out of this government. I would be very embarrassed if I was deputy president. Today, I would be very embarrassed. When I meet old women and they ask me, you are the deputy president, we had a working health system before you took over. 2 years down the line, the system has collapsed. What are you? Who are you? I will be very embarrassed. In fact, sometimes I sleep here, I wake up at night, I'm happy I'm not deputy president. Because I would not know what to explain to the people.
Okay.
So, we are having a crisis of monumental proportions in terms of our health system. And I really feel for the people of Kenya. I don't know what will happen. Now that the private hospitals have withdrawn from the system and people are paying through their pay slip and they cannot access health care, what do? I was talking to some policemen today as I came from Nyeri. And they saw me on the road. And they said, Afandi, we support you. We are complaining even more than ordinary Kenyans. We cannot access health care. The teachers are complaining. You know, the teachers had a good medical system with some hospitals. And a decision was made to remove the insurance so that it's given to some hospitals owned by that Asian called JAISH. Today, teachers are going to hospital, they cannot access medical care. Everybody is crying. The whole country is in tears. And it's just 2 years down the line, you know. And I looked at, I saw after the AUC, I saw a fellow who works for the National Intelligence Service, an MCA from Nairobi here, called Alai. He wrote a big post trying to blame President Uhuru Kenyatta that he is the one who campaigned Raila Odinga at the AU.
Okay.
I want to tell those people of Ruto and ODM to leave Uhuru Kenyatta alone. Uhuru Kenyatta was president. His project did not go through. He conceded. He handed over power.
Yeah, right.
2 years down the line, you cannot keep on blaming him for every problem in Kenya.
Really?
Even when Raila Odinga does not succeed in AAU, you blame President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Mr. Gash, since you're talking about diplomacy, I have to reel you into the predicament that Kizza Besigye is facing. And not just that. Recently, we've seen the Rapid Support Forces sort of mince their words in terms of whether they're forming a parallel government in Kenya or whether they're simply here to seek unity for the betterment of their country. What do you make of the diplomatic
I think in all fairness, President William Ruto has messed this country in the international eye. He's doing all the wrong things. We have a policy of non-interference with the affairs of other countries. We cannot allow rebels who have been slapped with international sanctions because of genocide to meet in government facilities in Nairobi. You have heard Sudan now is threatening to stop our tea going to Sudan. And what is happening is that the president has put his personal and commercial interests ahead of the country's interests. That's the problem that they are. They are doing business with the RSF chief of gold that is being gotten from that area, brought to Nairobi and taken to Dubai.
And you can substantiate
Yes, I can. I have one time. And, diplomatically, the president cannot invite Hamed here because he was vice president. And he asked me to invite him on his behalf. And he called me and said, sign this letter, invite Hamed here because I want to have a discussion.
When was this?
Sometime 2023.
Okay.
And I did invite Hamedi and welcomed him and delivered him to the president. There was nothing about Kenya. They were just discussing business, about gold, about such other things.
You were in that meeting?
No, I introduced him and then I was told to leave because it had nothing to do with Kenya.
How do you know this then?
No, I'm saying if it had anything to do with Kenya, I would have sat through the meeting. But I'm the one who, after they were through, I'm the one who took him to the airport and I inquired and they are doing business. So it is putting Kenya in very bad light. Very, very bad light. And President William Ruto must accept that he will not be president forever. He cannot destroy this country and the way we are perceived by other nations. He must be a nationalist. He must rise above personal and commercial interests and put the country first. That group has been flagged by the international community and sanctions have been slapped against them for genocide and killing of children. But again, thinking about it, there's a saying that birds of the same feather flock together. They are killing children in Sudan. We are killing children here. So again, there's convergence. I think birds of the same feather flock together. But we are looking very bad. DRC, we have handled it very badly. And in fact, I am told many African presidents are unwilling to get involved in peace initiatives led by President William Ruto because he is conflicted in terms of personal and commercial interests that he has put above national interests.